Welcome to Judge Me Not, a safe place to have real conversations with real ass people. What's up? Thank y'all for tuning in to another week for Fucking with the Kid. I'm your pretty cool host, EnviiDee. I ain't gonna waste y'all time. Y'all know I appreciate y'all for listening to me. Like always, it's just like, so humbling. But look, this week, you know what? We're gonna talk about minding your motherfucking business. That's what we're gonna talk about. I'm learning to mind my business. I have found myself in some situations that I'd be like, bitch, had you just mind your business, you wouldn't have been a part of none of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool though, but it's not cool because I feel like really genuine good people can't help themselves from lending a helping hand, especially if they see somebody in a situation that they've been in, so they have empathy for that person. But the reality is, some motherfuckers just gotta go through certain stuff for their own journey, for their own healing, for their own strength, whatever the fuck they're going through. Some people gotta go through a certain situation for their own self, and intervening is not a good thing for either party. But I'm just telling y'all about a situation that I should have minded my motherfucking business, and it spun so out of control so fast. At the end of the day, I just had to sit back and be like, yep, bitch. This is what you get for trying to be motherfucking Maya Angelou to a motherfucker. Everybody don't want life to be spoken into them. Everybody is really not ready for change, even though they cry, yell for change, and ask for help. You know, it's the worst thing to get involved in a motherfucking relationship quarrel and your partner is like giving all the tea of what this nigga have done to them or what this female have done to them. And of course, as you been a friend, you gonna ride with them. Fuck that nigga. Fuck nigga, whatever that song be, like, you know, I'm gonna pop my shit. Like, you independent queen, you can do this. She don't deserve you, king. You know what I'm saying? You can do better. And then, bitch, you know, you done dried your eyes, invested in a few drinks, drowned the sorrows. Bitch, you pop up, you roll over, you look on Instagram or whatever it may be, and they right the fuck back together. Bitch. Now, you got me not liking this motherfucker. But that's what I get because I should have minded my business, right? But let's go ahead and jump into story time. So, look. My son been hanging around with a family, right? And the kids are really, really respectful, really, really cool. I ain't got no issues with them or whatever. But I did have a early on encounter with their mom. And it probably wasn't the best encounter, to be honest with you. We got into it. And I feel like just because I articulate myself a certain way and I pronunciate my words a certain way, a motherfucker will try you. So I felt like this parent tried me. And at the end of the day, I was just disgusted at the response that I had gotten, right? But we fast forward a few months after the incident, and she comes knocking on my door, and she's like, hey, you know, my kids want to have this, you know, little community event, and I know our kids play together, and you should come. Cool. Our kids do play together. Their children have been over to my house. My child have been on their porch. So it's just like, I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm offering positive love and light. Okay, cool. And the motherfuckers can cook. So I've already had eaten their food. So I'm like, I'm definitely going to come for the food. So I go and I took it as an olive branch. So we ended up chopping it up, whatever. They, you know, commend me on my parenting for my son. He's so respectful, whatever it may be. So we're super cordial now. Just, hey, how are you doing? In passing, because we stay in the same community, but it wasn't nothing major, you know, no switching on text messages or nothing like that. However, when I went to the cookout, there still was a clear indication to me that we do not live the same lifestyle. We do not raise our kids the same. However, your kids are respectful. I see that the type of environment that they are in is not the type of environment that I want my child to be a part of, right? But the kids are really good. So I'm chilling. We're going to fast forward another like 3 weeks. Again, hey, how you doing? Going on to my place. Hey, how you doing? They going on to their place. You know, our kids are still playing, but it's still cordial. Until it's like 11 o'clock. And at the time I was working from home, it's like 11 o'clock in the evening, and I hear somebody on my patio. A bitch ain't order no packages, because you know when you order a package, I already know when to be ready. I ain't order no packages, and I'm like, you know, maintenance ain't doing nothing. That's kind of weird. So I look out, and I don't see nobody on my patio, but then I go outside on my patio, and there's a trash can full of shit on my patio. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is so weird. So I bring it inside, but it's not like a trash can with trash. It's a trash can with clothes and shoes and paperwork. So I'm still confused, and I like go through it like, who the fuck shit is this, and why the fuck they put this shit on my motherfucking porch instead of putting in the motherfucking trash. But it looked like really brand new shit. So go through it. I realize one of the names are one of the kids. So I wait till my lunch break, and I go, you know, to their house, and I knock, and I'm like, hey, you know, this is weird, but there's a trash can full of your guys' belongings that's on my patio. And the husband answers, or boyfriend, I'm not sure if they're actually married or not, and he's like, oh yeah, I put that on there. I figure you were a kind person and you wouldn't throw it away, and I know they don't have anywhere else to go. So I'm like, okay. I set the trash can down, and I go on by my business, because I live with me and my children. You know what I'm saying? I go be in my motherfucking house, I mind my motherfucking business, and I just don't be talking to nobody, because I listen to true crime all day, and what a bitch is not trying to do is be cut up in the back of somebody's motherfucking trunk. You know what I'm saying? So people is crazy. I don't really have a desire to get to know people where I stay. I just don't. So I set the trash can down, come on back to my motherfucking house, sit down, get back ready to go back to work. I get a knock on my door. Don't nobody pop up on me. Very few people know where I stay. I don't like guests. I hate FaceTime, but I really hate guests. So during the middle of the day, I'm like, who the fuck is this? So it is the mother to the children. And she says, I know this is random, but I know he put my belongings on your patio, and I was just wondering if I could chill over here until my kids get out of school. I should have said no. No, thank you. I don't think that's appropriate, and close the door. Me, being the single mom, impact, big hearted motherfucker that I am, I'm like, okay, cool. Come on in. So I'm working, whatever. And she's like, hey, do you have a glass of wine? Whatever. I pour a glass of wine, and we start to communicate. And this lady just opens up. Not only does she opens up, she gives me all the motherfucking tea. Like, all the motherfucking tea. Now, everybody has fucking toxic situations. Me, myself, I used to love a toxic nigga. But bitch, it's a motherfucking bottom line that I'm just not gonna cross. My kids is one of them. My sacred place, my house is another one. Bitch, my money ain't doing it. Like, it ain't no nigga in the world that motherfucking good. He ain't dicking me down that good. Ain't that much amount of motherfucking love that's going to make me overlook my kids, my money, and my sacred space. Because at the end of the motherfucking day, I need my kids, I need my money, and I need a roof over my motherfucking head. Period. But everybody don't think the motherfucking same, and sometimes people are easily, influenced. Long story short, this man kicks out this woman and her children, and she has quite a few kids. And he doesn't have a logical reason as why she kicked them out, but the crazy thing is, they both on the lease. So I'm just sitting there, I don't know this individual. So, people give you, they're venting to you, but you really don't know them, so you can't respond how you would normally respond to your people. Like, bitch, the fuck? So you're just listening, and I'm just trying to be super supportive, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. So where are the rest of your things? You got 5 kids, and they're basically teenagers. I know y'all got more than trash can with shit. She was like, well, that's the thing. I believe he's thrown all of our things in the trash. Mind you, school has just started. The babies, I mean, it was homework in the trash can. It was shoes, and I mean, if he threw the shit away, it was sick and even more petty to give 10% of the shit on a stranger's porch to put that stranger in your business, right? So I'm like really taken aback because I've run across some fuck niggas in my day, but I ain't never run across a fuck nigga that would do something so motherfucking low as to throw your children's shit in the trash, whether you really did it or you didn't do it, but the way you went about it is just some whole ass shit, and I would never fuck with a motherfucker like that. So the kids come, and it's been like 3 hours. I'm still working. She's still going in and out or whatever. She's trying to get the management to let her in the apartment, and it's not successful. You know, it's civil, call the police. They can't do anything, whatever. So the kids come, and this is where I'm even more affected, because the kids come and they're of age, so they know very much so what's going on. Not only do they know what's going on, it is something that happens often. So they're giving me their feedback, and there's girls and they're preteens and teenagers, and they're going on about how much they dislike this individual and how much they have taken this family through and their mom. Some of these stories were a bit intense. A bitch went through a whole bunch of glasses of wine within these 48 hours, y'all. 48 hours, right? So it's now sundown. It's a school night. I've explained to my kids that, you know, they're going through something. They're going to have to stay for a little bit. So I've kind of reshuffled my house, but I've also went and got a fucking air mattress. I'm like, hey, I don't have much to offer, but mi casa es su casa. What I wasn't going to do was put this lady out with her kids, right? So she was like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for whatever. I'm like, whatever you need to get on your feet, I can assist you. So they stay over. They don't have any clothes, so they can't go to school the next day. I send my kids off to school. I'm partially working, but I end up using like a half a day not to go to work because I really want to help this woman, and she's really, really going through it. Come to find out, she doesn't have any family in Texas. This has kind of been a cycle. He has stripped her of her self-esteem, her self-worth. She doesn't work. You know, she's fully dependable on this male. And to add insult to injury, when you're so dependent on someone for so fucking long, especially from teenagehood to adulthood, you might not be the sharpest knife in the deck, or whatever the fuck that saying is. So there was a lot of common sense of what can and cannot be done that was not there. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna help. So here I go interjecting my motherfucking self. I go to the leasing office with this lady. The manager is already aware of the situation. She's like, I'm going to try to help you, whatever. You can stay with her. They end up giving me like a little discount from helping this lady out, whatever. We go to the stores. I'm helping this lady buy some shit for her kids because, again, they're like teenagers, and I know how it feels to be a teenager in a toxic fucking environment that you cannot control. So what I didn't want them to do was not being able to take showers and change, and not being able to have their hygiene products that they need as young girls and things like that. So we're running errands, and I'm investing my money because she don't really work like that. And she's like, well, I'm getting some stamps. Can you help me hustle the stamps? First of all, the bitch don't get no stamps. Well, the bitch and my kids love to eat. So I'm like, cool. I buy some stamps off of her. I get my people to buy some stamps off of her. Boom, I put money in her pocket. So I done put a roof over your head. I done invested my money in your kids. Your kids are in a safe place. I done articulated yourself very professionally and very calm as a mediator to the property people. So I'm helping you with that situation. And, you know, to put some money in your pocket. Cool. I got you. This is like what sisterhood is about. This is what helping another black woman is about. So, bitch, I come back. I'm like, hey, I got to take care of some business. So I go run some errands or whatever on my own. I come back in the kitchen. It's like, where's my mama? I'm like, What you mean? She was here when I left her. We couldn't find this woman, y'all. She was MIA. I already knew if you MIA and you've abandoned your kids and you got this money in your pocket, bitch, you with that nigga. But I had to give myself the benefit of the doubt because sis was really crushed. She really was embarrassed by the stories her children were telling a stranger and how it negatively impacted them. I gave the motherfucker benefit of the doubt. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I go out in the front of my complex and this woman is gotta be in her late 30s, early 40s maybe. Serena Williams built. I mean, like, thick than a bitch. She running down the motherfucking street. It's like 3 o'clock. So the school is coming out. Your kids are in my house hiding. Should be at school. Traumatized by something that's familiar. And you are here embarrassing them and yourself. The management people from the apartments is also outside looking. She is running behind this man who doesn't have a motherfucking car and laughing. It's not funny because I'm really in shock like, oh my God. I pray that I am never this low in life and lack that much love, not only for myself, but for my creation, that I embarrass myself like that. So I was like taken aback, and then I was sad, and then I was embarrassed, and then I was just like, what the fuck is this? So, I get in my car and I'm just like driving behind them and I'm like, hey, are you okay? Because I know physical violence or whatever has been something that happens. And she was like, no, I'm fine. She gets in the car. I'm like, I'm coming back. I'm not even going to do this. It is what it is. Cool. So she's like, I want to go out. I'm like, I don't think you should be trying to go out. Like, again, my last episode on Spotify was about, being too broken for love. Bitch, you don't really need to be going to nobody motherfucking club or in no other nigga face with all of this that's going on. And that's how a lot of men get caught up in really tricky, messy ass situations, is because these females are not closing a chapter before they start another chapter with somebody else that they know they have no intention on really fucking with, just to make they toxic ass, dangerous ass nigga jealous. That's dangerous. So I'm like, nah, bitch, you don't need to go out. You really ain't got no motherfucking money. Like, wake up. You're in my house. So, at this point, I'm not going on about my business. I'm in my house. Her kids are in my house. But I'm not here to be your life coach if it's just kind of evident that you're really not ready to be independent and just live for your kids, right? So I go ahead and take my shower, me and my kids, we go out to eat, and, we come back, and she's still gone. So now the kids are sleeping. This is about to go on 72 hours, and I get a knock on my door. And it's him. Y'all, I cannot make this shit up. Not only is it him, but he says, hey, is it cool if our kids can stay here another night? And you can come over and come drink. I'm like, what the fuck? No. Like, first of all, I'm not interested in you the least bit. Not at all. Physically, I'm not attracted to you. But morally, I will spit in your face. Like, I don't deal with people that don't consider their children. I just have no regard for those people. And they just disgust me. And I think they're a waste of space. So, I'm like, get the fuck away from my door, right? And he's like, oh, no disrespect. And he leaves, which was so creepy. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I go back in my room on my business. And she texts me and she's like, hey, I'm at your door. Can you open the door for me? It's like 1 motherfucking clock. Your kids is in my house. My kids is asleep. Like, bitch, now you are pushing me past my comfort zone. But again, that's what I get for putting myself in other people's motherfucking business, trying to be motherfucking Captain Save-Ho. So I open the door and she's like, hey, I just have to, get my mind right, but let's have a glass of wine, whatever. So we sitting on my patio and we're having a glass of wine and she's just kind of trying to rationalize what has happened in this past 48 hours and how it got there. And I noticed she's saying things like, I blow things out of proportion. And I'm thinking, bitch, he done threw all y'all shit in the fucking trash. You ain't blew a motherfucking thing out of proportion. If any fucking thing, you ain't blowing it out of proportion enough for my liking. So I already knew what this conversation was because we all been a fool for a motherfucker. I just ain't been this big of a motherfucking fool to where it's just beyond toxic, not only for you, but for your fucking babies. So she goes on, y'all, no motherfucking cap, and goes on to say how it really started because her and her significant other fucked with another one of our neighbors. And I guess the nigga kept fucking with the bitch outside of them. And it caused static because she found out. Now, when she's saying this, it's making motherfucking sense because I told you how I met these motherfuckers. They invited me to their fucking cookout. Now, looking back, these bitches invited me to the cookout to vet me. Y'all, sick than a motherfucker. So, at the cookout, it was a lot of alcohol, but I really don't be drinking like that, especially with people I don't know. The neighbor that I now know, while she's giving me their tea, that they fucked, was very drunk and saying very explicit things, and everybody else was like, what the fuck? You need to leave. But it was subliminals towards him and kind of shade towards her. That's why all this shit stemmed. So then the bitch goes on to say that they have been watching me. Motherfucker. Y'all. I cannot make this up. They had been watching me and they had been interested to see if I was down with things like that. And I'm thinking, ain't no motherfucking way. Y'all not in my motherfucking tax bracket. Y'all toxic than the motherfucker. Y'all look like y'all done worked in the fields all your motherfucking life. Please do not insult me or my pussy. Don't. And the fact that you even feel like you stand a fucking chance. Oh, God. I have fucked up. I've been too motherfucking nice. So, at this point, I'm like, where the fuck are we going with this? Okay, because I've been kind to you, but bitch, this is getting a little bit motherfucking weird. I'm like, okay, so where we going with this? Long story short, the bitch's like, I'm gonna go back. We're just gonna hold off on inviting people into our relationship. But I really appreciate you for what you did. And he's told me from the jump that you are the type of friend that I need to have in my corner because you're going to better me. And in return, I'm going to better him. Bitch, have y'all locked? They got to be smoking crack. At that point, bitch, they got to be smoking. They got to be smoking a glass stick. They got to be smoking something. I'm sitting here like, bitch, after all of this, you not only going back, you not overlooking your kids in their feelings. He done embarrassed you. He done fucked off on you. He done threw y'all shit away. He done had you ass the fuck out. He done had a bitch in your motherfucking apartment over these 72 hours. And you got the motherfucking nerve to ask the bitch who was kind enough to help your sorry ass, can I join the fucked up team? I wish I would. I wish I would. They could be the last motherfucking people on the earth. Bitch, the population ain't gonna never repopulate if that's the case. I was so fucking insulted, I could not control myself. At that point, she had met Lisa. It went from Lisa to Envy motherfucking D because, bitch, you got me fucked up. And my response took her aback. So I had to, at that point, say, y'all got to get out of my house. And it really hurt me to do this. Because those babies were so innocent in this. But, bitch, what you not going to do is take this toxic ass situation, now perverted as weird situation. Y'all not bringing that shit in my motherfucking house. Y'all not bringing that energy over here. Y'all not bringing that shit around my kids. And what you will do is get jugged out here on my motherfucking balcony. And I will say, you tried to attack me. Like a motherfucker, you need to go now. So what I had to do, though, unfortunately, was explain to the kids why they could not stay. And make her explain that she did decide to go back. So it was best for their safety and mine that they went ahead and went back at the wee hours of the motherfucking morning. So the girls were very distraught. The kids did not want to go back. But at the end of the day, it was not my fucking business anymore. On top of that, I had to remind her, bitch, we are not the same. I'm very big on communication, especially at this age of life, bitch. If I die, I want everybody to know I was 100 with them while I was here. But we're not the same. I'm a very genuine person, as you can see, is what I've done for you and your kids in these past 72 hours. But what I will not do is be taken advantage for. And I told you in the beginning, bitch, if you choose to go back, that is your fucking business. But don't you ever say hi to me. You could be on fire and I can have an abundance of water, bitch. Y'all just gonna burn. And I hate to say that because I'm an Aquarius. When I fuck with you, I fuck with you. But when I feel like you got me fucked up, bitch, you are dead. Do you hear me? Long story short, they got the fuck up out my motherfucking house, and I see them walking all the fucking time with plethoras of groceries and this and that. Their kids have since knocked on my door and asked for a safe haven. And unfortunately, I've had to say, here's my phone. I can give you somebody to call, but y'all cannot come into my apartment. I had to go to the extent of letting my management know if these people are around my property, I will have to be calling the law because, bitch, if y'all think y'all about to come up in here and lay up on me, bitch, y'all got me all the way fucked up. But guess what? That's my business for minding other people's business. So that was my story time for the day. So what's the moral of the motherfucking story, Envy? Mind your business. Allow people to go through their fucked up situations on their own. Although you want to intervene from the goodness of your heart, please understand that when you intervene and subject yourselves into circumstances that you are not supposed to be in, God will also punish you for interrupting their due process, for interrupting their life situations that they have to go through in order to evolve, learn, grow, receive a blessing or lesson. So be careful before you just put the S on your chest and feel like you really about to save a hoe. Think about what you're getting yourself into and if it's even worth it. Because at the end of the day, if a motherfucker is comfortable being in a fucked up situation, what good is it going to do to temporarily allow them to have access to your peace of mind and safe space? So that's it. Mind y'all motherfucking business for y'all end up on me into some weird motherfucking shit. Stay safe out here, y'all. And I'll fuck with y'all next week. Hey guys, if y'all want to keep up with me, you can follow me on social media platforms. I'm on Twitter at JudgeMeNot. Also on Instagram at judge_me_not. Me is spelled MII. Or you can follow me at EnviiDee, EnviiDee.